Hey guys, welcome back to yet another episode of Blackboard Beer Reviews, and tonight we're going to continue the theme of call them Mexican style inspired American Imperial Stouts. This one happens to be a beer that's been on my radar for a while. It's from one of my favorite breweries here in the Midwest. This is from Central Waters Brewing Company. This is their Cassian Sunset. This is actually a beer that I find quite interesting. It is an Imperial Stout aged in used oak bourbon barrels with coffee, vanilla beans, and cinnamon added. Many moons ago, this is the 2016 vintage, by the way, and I think it clocks in right around 10%. Does not actually say. Either way, I was at Casanova Beer Festival a couple years ago with my good buddy Casey from Blind Ninja Studios, and Central Waters had their head brewer, I think his name is Mark, or was Mark at the time. And we were kind of shooting the shit over a couple beers, including their anniversary beer. I think at the time was 16 or 15. I can't even remember. Time goes by so fast, and beer all starts to blend together. But anyways, we were discussing like taking their bourbon barrel-aged Imperial Brewers Reserve Stout and doing something similar, or doing something to Space Ghost. And I'm really glad that that conversation, amongst, I'm sure, a ton of feedback and market research, has led to this beer. So this is a $12.99 4-pack, so about $3 a bottle. It's bourbon barrel aged, I think, for just 6 months, this one. Could be wrong, though. I don't know. It doesn't say. Most of their beers are aged a year in bourbon barrels, so this one poured out a... Here, let's see if we can get it for you. Look how watery that is looking. It looks really, really thin. It looks like a cola, a light cola for that matter. We'll go in on it with a Black Tuesday like type mind. Looks actually pitch black in the glass. Fluffy, pinky's worth of vanilla colored head there. Definitely some alcohol legs. I did have to rinse my glass, so let's go ahead and dive into the nose, because you guys love that one. Oh wow, this one is actually quite barrel forward. Yeah, barrel and vanilla forward. Like, holy Hannah. Not only do I get like fresh bourbon-soaked vanilla bean, but I'm getting actual like vanilla barrel character, which is really, really quite nice. I do get some spiciness of cinnamon. Actually pretty nice. I don't really get too much coffee. Admittedly, there's just a little bit of coffee. But it's like that sweet Java, mocha Java type coffee. I guess the only way I can really describe it is if you've ever had Bell's Java Stout or Founder's Breakfast Stout. They've got some of those sweeter coffees, and they tend to come through with sweeter malts. But honestly, I'm getting a good amount of barrel character here. It smells delightful. The one thing I will say is there is a fuck ton of chocolate coming through. Like their base bourbon barrel stout already has tons of chocolate and tons of barrel character. So honestly, smells great. Let's get into the taste. Cheers. I have to say, this is a beer that I think a lot of people have been waiting for here in the Midwest. We've been kind of waiting for some of these barrel house style breweries to pump out adjunct laden stouts in their barrel program. This is the first time they've actually bottled this. They did have a few draft events in the past calendar year. This is the first time that there was overwhelming feedback that this needs to be in bottles. Taste-wise, I'm getting tons of that barrel character. Vanilla, macadamia, that marshmallowy coconut. Big vanilla flavor comes through even just in that regard. Chocolate. Cinnamon is there. It's more of a spicy cinnamon, like a Vietnamese cinnamon. It doesn't carry all that like artificial sweetness with it. It's got just this like prickly coating mouthfeel. There's a nice bit of oak. Definitely some whiskey character. I liken it to their bourbon barrel Scotch beer, where you get such great barrel character and you get some really, really nice whiskey notes. I will say I do get some like an actual oak wood-like character to this one. Almost tannic. And having just had Mocha Wednesday, that beer was tannic as all fucking get out. This is lighter on the tannins, but, I feel like these thin beers start to take on too much wood character over time, and they start to detract a little bit from the overall blend or final product that's in the glass here. But this one has a really, really nice flavor profile. There's everything there. Cinnamon, vanilla, coffee, chocolate, barrel. The only thing, guys, that's really, really taking this beer down a notch for me is mouthfeel. And I say it every time with Central Waters beers. Mouthfeel, mouthfeel, mouthfeel. You make such a elegant, delicious product that is affordable, yet it seems like it's unfinished to me. It seems like this was a beer that back in the day sort of probably would have resonated a lot better amongst a lot of stout drinkers. And you know what? Maybe this is what they're going for. Maybe it's like the brewery effect where you just, you pump out as much as you can. Production equals a thinner yield. I don't know. But it keeps these beers from being upper echelon to me. I think the flavor is so great. The nose is so great. But there isn't a lasting impression. There isn't this velvety coated mouthfeel where I just want to sip this slowly. I can crush this because it is so thin. And thin might not really be the word. It just might be drinkable, I guess. I know that Central Waters prides themselves on producing a drinkable beer, not a sludge bomb, and that's fine. I would like to see an anniversary beer amplified on these adjuncts. I think that would be, if they offered multiple variants of their anniversary beers and did something like this. I also think that if they took this and applied it to the Space Ghost formula with the peppers, and because that beer had a ton of body, and barrel aged that, I think you'd be really, really, really looking at potentially a top 10 stout. So, with that said, we're kind of going away from the grading scale. For all you number folks out there, I'll give this like a 93. I think that's really, really good. I think it's A-level beer. It's just missing a few key components. But hey, this is something that I think everyone should try, should seek out. Will I buy it again? Probably. I mean, $12? Get 4 of these? It's a nice breakfast beer. Not that, it's like 8 o'clock, but p.m. Yeah, good effort from Central Waters here. Glad to see this is in bottles. It's made its way into the Brewers Reserve lineup, and I think everyone should definitely get out there and pick some up or trade for some. Central Waters goes like all the way out to New York, so get some. Peace.